This is Island Lake State Recreation Area, and this is the Huron River, and I'm going to do some paddling today. Looks good, no ice, not too bad. Should be a good day. This weekend I was supposed to do some kayak camping on the Ausable River up near Grayling, but unfortunately that was postponed till 2 weeks, because it was iced up in certain sections. But this part of the Huron, really, as long as I've been paddling, it never really totally froze. It got, some sections got a little bit frozen over when it got below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, but otherwise it's pretty open all winter long, which is why I like to come out here in the winter to keep paddling all year round. It's one of my favorite spots. This part of the Huron, there's some it's much more, you run into more obstacles than other parts, like down trees and other things, but mostly it's pretty clear all the way through. Another obstacle in the way, but not too bad. Oh, gotta get over this branch. One of the things that kayakers like to do in the wintertime is cross-country ski or snowshoeing or hiking, but for me, I just like to paddle the local rivers that are still open in the wintertime, because it's kayaking is, it doesn't use your lower half of the body. For me, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2013, and it really damaged my the lower half of my body. Like, I was in a wheelchair for 3 months. I couldn't walk. It was a very severe attack I had, and I lost the ability to urinate, so now I have to use catheters to go to the bathroom. But anyway, the most I probably could walk is maybe I would say a half mile before I just have to give up. And yeah, so that's the main reason why I don't cross-country ski anymore. I used to do it when I was younger. Shit. But now I just continue paddling. Luckily for me, I found a drug for MS that I think has stabilized me. It's called glatiramer acetate, and what it is well, first of all, what MS does is it attacks your nerves in your central nervous system and your spinal cord. It attacks the covering of your nerves called the myelin sheath, and so once your myelin sheath is gone on your nerves in your central nervous system, the nerves start dying. So the goal is to prevent the your body from attacking itself or its own myelin sheath. For me, back when I started, when I had it, there was very limited drugs available, but one drug was glatiramer acetate. It's a daily injection I take, and what it is, it's a polypeptide of the myelin. So it's a synthetic myelin analog, and what that does is you inject it every day, and it's believed that over time you gain tolerance to the target that your body is trying to attack, the myelin sheath. So I mean, it doesn't take it's not a very fast acting. For me, it took maybe 3 years before I was stabilized, and it's been maybe 6 years since I've had an attack. So yeah, anyway, it's kind of like allergy shots is the way I think about it. You know, if you're allergic to cat hair, you'll go to a allergist and they'll give you allergy shots. That's kind of the way I think of it for what I have. Anyway, it's been working for me, and very thankful that I have it, and so far so good. A lot of people they have very aggressive MS where it attacks you very quickly, and you need to there's very powerful drugs out now that can basically suppress your immune system very quickly and shut down the attacks, but luckily that was not my case, and yeah, I was very lucky that I found the right doctor and found the right medication. Yeah, the water is definitely higher. We've had a lot of snow lately, and you can definitely see how much higher it is under this bridge. And the water seems to be running a lot faster too. God dang, this is really low. Yep. As far as me paddling solo in the wintertime, it's I guess the going thought is when you're kayaking solo, that is not recommended by many people, but for me, if I had to wait to go with other people, like I have friends that I go paddling with quite often, but a lot of time in the winter they don't paddle. So for me, if I had to go with someone, I wouldn't paddle in the wintertime. But the key thing for me is being able to first of all, you have to have the right gear, which is you have to have a dry suit with appropriate thermal underlayers, which means layers of wool or polypropylene, something that won't get saturated and still provide some warmth. Like cotton is no good at all because that absorbs water and it'll just make it colder. And then for rivers, maybe The other important thing is to take along some method of starting a fire. So for me, I carry solid fuel pellets and lighters so that I can easily start a fire if I ever needed to. And then when you go over in the river, at least on these rivers, you can always swim it back to shore. And it's not a matter of can you self-rescue on a river, at least these rivers. You can always just swim it back to shore. But on bigger water, like I paddle a lot on the Detroit River and some of the Great Lakes, and that if you're gonna go solar there, you definitely have to have a way of self-rescue, which means when you come out of your boat, you have to when you overturn, you have to wet exit, which means to pull your spray skirt and then swim out of your boat, and then you have to have a way of getting back into the boat. For me, I can get it back into the boat with a what they call a cowboy scramble, which is coming over the back of the boat and first of all, you got to upturn your boat, and then you have to get on the back deck of the boat and then scramble your way back into the cockpit. I do this with a paddle float, but I can do it without a paddle float. A paddle float is just a float that you can put on your paddle, and it provides like a outrigger to give you leverage. The other way I can self-rescue is what's called a re-entry and roll, also with a paddle float. So that is when your boat is overturned, you just swim underneath the boat and just get into the boat upside down, and then use your paddle float and your paddle to right yourself. You can do this without the paddle float, but you have to know how to roll. And right now I'm learning how to do that right now. Been doing that all winter and getting pretty close. But for right now, I'm pretty confident for myself, I can get back. I can self-rescue myself in the conditions that I paddled in, and I practiced my self-rescue techniques in the summertime, and then I also do it with others in the wintertime or in the fall. And for rivers, I have actually come out of my boat twice, and both times I was able to continue on with the paddle, no problems. I didn't have to self-rescue. I just brought the boat back to shore and emptied the boat and got back in. But definitely for me, I guess it's a choice of whether or not you're going to solo paddle. And for me, I definitely feel like I am prepared. Also, I carry for big water, I carry a VHF radio and a PLB, which is a personal location beacon, which that is the last case rescue effort. What that does is it's a satellite communicator that communicates directly with search and rescue teams like the Coast Guard or whoever it may be, and sends a direct signal to them. So if I ever got into a really life and death situation out on big water, that is my last ditch effort. to save myself. Looks like the beavers have been hard at work. Last time I was here, all these weirs going across the river were above water. You can see them there. There's some more weirs underwater. Water's really deep today. Made it. That's the Kent Lake Dam. On the other side of that is Kent Lake that leads into Kensington Metro Park in Milford, Michigan. So it's pretty flowing pretty good, it looks like. It's always great to, when you get to the end of your solo paddle upstream, it feels like you accomplished something. Let's see how far I went. 5.28 miles and 2.7 miles an hour average moving. 4.3 max speed. So that's a great thing about going upstream first. It's hard, it's a good workout, but then it feels so good going back downstream. It's so much easier. Yeah. How you doing? Catch anything? Wow.
We're having a day.
Great. In the home stretch. Coming back to Placeway launch site. A little bit of ice there. Shit. Let's see what we got. 10.53 miles, 3.3 moving miles per hour moving average, and 3 hours and 13 minutes. Good paddle. Now if I can just get out of here without dumping it.